Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to another video. So today we're going to be chatting about what are some of the things that we can actually do as we're preparing for the holiday season. What are some of the mindful, tangible tools that is really available to us to really move into the holiday season and into the festivities with more mindfulness, with more ease, with more grace? What can we do? And also what is really happening energetically right now? So if that sounds good, why don't we just dive right in? If you are brand new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Meshi and I'm an intuitive reader and a healer. And I'm here to give you all of the guidance that I have in anything and everything spirituality, working with the law of attraction and working with energy and how we can really live a more intentionally based life. So if that sounds good, you would probably enjoy it here. Let's look at the week of December 20th to 27th. Really what is happening astrologically, what is happening energetically, and how we can kind of move through this week. So how can we move through this with more ease and more grace this week, really? So first and foremost, we're going to be looking at my 3 recommendations that I have for you that you can really use this week as we're moving into the festivities. And at the very end, we will also pull a card from the Season of the Witch, the Yule Oracle. I really love this deck because it really represents the season that we're in right now. And it just always kind of hits the nail on the head. You know what I mean? So I'm very curious to see sort of what's happening energetically and in general. All right. So first and foremost, my first tip for you is before you even, like whenever we're going to be around a lot of energies, a lot of different forms of frequencies, I always really like to remind myself that it's very, very important to be very intentional of getting grounded and making sure that your own energy is in check. As we're moving through the week, right now, the date of this filming, we are already entered into Capricorn season. So the sun is in Capricorn. So right now we just entered into the season of Winter Solstice, and we also have Venus in retrograde, which happened as of Sunday. And as of Saturday, we still might have the feeling of the residual effects of the full moon as we entered into Gemini. So that's a lot of things that are happening all at once. And perhaps part of your week is going to be probably spent, I have to say for myself, I have spent the last 2 weeks sort of doing this inner work. But for you, you might be actually feeling it a little bit more. It might be a lot more amplified since Sunday. Having Venus in retrograde, how does it affect us? The planet that really rules our relationships, that rules our relationships and connections with all of the people around us, and it rules beauty and it rules anything and everything that we really desire. So much to unpack here, but basically what you need to know is that you will likely spend some of your time, more than likely you might have already started doing this as like the year-end review, but more importantly, you will likely spend some of your time really taking the time to reflect on how the year has been and also how your different relationships are serving you. And if you're finding that those different relationships are not serving you to the best of their ability, then maybe it's time for a readjustment, a little bit of recalibration so that it has the ability to serve you to your highest good. So instead of looking at all of these relationships, whether they are business relationships, professional relationships, relationships with your family, with your extended family, with friends, with coworkers, with all of the things, and of course with yourself, really asking and reflecting without emotion, without attachment to how it should be instead of how it is. So the idea behind this is really for you to just witness, how are all of those expectations? How did you bend and shape-shifted in the past for you to be a form that is somehow acceptable for the masses, right? How did you fit yourself into the box that others deem acceptable? Which actually brings me to my first point is don't try to fit in. So the reason why I'm telling you not to try to fit in is because as soon as you do, as soon as you shape-shift, and it's a little bit different than making compromises that you chose, shape-shifting so that other people will accept you or they will see a certain version of you will always bring a level of inauthenticity. And As soon as we go into that rabbit hole of living out of alignment, living inauthentically, then we're really actually dimming our own light. And that's the part that I really wanted to kind of drive home, is to not do that, because unfortunately, the more you do that, the more you kind of teach people that version of you that is really not really true and authentic to you for the sake of gaining acceptance from people that you don't really like. Or they're not really seeing the true version of you, which means that you will always have to work extra hard so that you gain the respect and the acceptance from people that you might not even need to begin with. My second tip for you is to just witness. And we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. You might be spending a little bit more of your time in reflection mode, at least for the beginning part of the week. You might be spending some of your time in really taking a look at and anticipating, the different family get-togethers, the different festivities. There's a lot of energy, that collective energy that kind of goes into that. So it can feel overwhelming, and you might actually bring back memories of previous get-togethers or how those connections really were tied together versus how they are right now. And just keep in mind that you have changed, you have evolved, and we're all changing and evolving every single day. So just give yourself the space where you allow yourself to change your mind. If you are no longer the person that you were with those connections in the past, give yourself time and give yourself some space so that you can change your mind on that and see, how is that still serving me? Is that still working for me the way that I thought it is? Or do we need to recalibrate? Because if you do, this would be your opportunity to do that. And my third tip for you is to create your own sacred boundaries. Boundaries are so important at this time of year, because a lot of people are not really aware of just how they're spewing their energy or how they're allowing the leakage to happen. So I always kind of like to, this would be your time. This would be absolutely your time to start using your tools, whether you're using your crystals and you program them, or you're using your oracle cards, or you're using your amulets, whatever you need, or you're using your visualization to create a protective barrier around you. These are the time to use your mindful tools, your spiritual tools. Grab them out of the bag. Don't wait until you're completely drained and exhausted and you're wondering what has happened. Use them beforehand. Create those sacred boundaries, because they are there to help you. And last but not least, why don't we just pull an oracle that I think will help you guys guide through this week a little bit more with ease. I didn't want to make this into like a full tarot reading, because I thought that an energetic update is more of an accurate way of just really doing a quick check-in with you guys, where we're not doing a full reading. It's not really a pick a card, but it's just really just checking in and really giving you guys guidance on what you can expect and how you can really mindfully navigate the week through. Here we go. We have ceremony. Let me look up the actual description, because I adore the description here. Ceremony. Ceremonies are rites of passage that mark the end of one way of being and the beginning of a new journey. And isn't that so fitting? We see them represented in birthdays and graduations, and in the case of magic, a series of steps that direct energy toward your desired intention. To perform a ceremony is a pledge to transcend your foremost self, so that you may become wiser and more powerful. You have pulled ceremony because you are ready to rise to a next level of being. Where you are now is much too small for who you are becoming. You are ready to expand and start to reach for bigger goals. And do not be afraid of your power, for you are destined to do and have more extraordinary things. So let this be a reminder that perhaps at this point you have outgrown the version of you that was continuously showing up around people within your relationships, and really give yourself that outlet for you to love the things that you love, to give into your own desires of whatever they may. If you want to be around beautiful things, create the outlet for that. If you want to be surrounded by art, create the outlet for that. So my invitation for you is, see in what way can you find a more authentic version of you that really wants to come and really show the world who she actually is. So this is all I have for you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this new format of energy update. I most certainly have. So as we're kind of moving through the holiday season, I kind of wanted to give you guys a little glimpse, a little tidbit of info that I think that you guys can take with you. If you are interested, let me know in the comments below if you wanted to get more of a guided meditation, because I would love to record that and actually add the link down in the description where you can kind of get that downloaded. Something where we can create like a sacred boundary around certain people, or if you wanted to do a cord cutting, those would be my top 2 for you. Let me know comments and if you are interested, because I would love to create that. And in the meanwhile, happy holidays. Keep shining your light, you guys, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.